Hello everyone. So this is an Ari, and I've been playing a bit of movement scoia'tael. I'm sorry, but I had to try it out. I've seen it that many times on ladder. I had to try it for myself. My sort of thought process was that scoia'tael is probably going to be looking at either this or a sort of control heavy precision strike list as being the best deck for scoia'tael. So I thought I'd give it a try. I like the idea. I've tried very unsuccessfully to get guerrilla tactics to work. Before the expansion, but now with the support for it, it actually feels really good. And I'm sure you'll have seen if you played it or played against it, it feels really strong. I've What I kind of did was I looked at the general list that people are running and tweaked it a little bit, so it's very similar to the list you'll have seen, but with a couple of changes here and there. So I won't talk too much about the usual stuff, just the stuff I've added in and things like that. So the Erden I've added in feels really good. I'm surprised more people aren't running this in Guerilla Tactics, to be honest, because the usual counter to Erden, if you're a very boost heavy deck, is you spread your boost over 2 rows. Um, but the problem when you run against Guerilla Tactics is you have the ability to move everything onto the same row relatively easily, just save a couple of leader charges, something like that. So if your opponent gets 4 tall units, 2 on range, 2 on melee, you just use 2 leader charges, put them on the same row, Erden wipes it out, and it really removes your opponent's ability to basically do anything about Erden. Feels really good in this list, and especially the state of the meta at the moment. Obviously, this will be very meta dependent. If the meta starts to shift, you probably won't want to be running this, but at the moment, this is really good. Um, there's basically not a bad matchup where Erden feels terrible, because monsters, quite a few people are running either Vi or Thrive, and it gets value there. The mirror match, it gets tons of value. If you're running up against Northern Realms, the Witcher deck tends to have a lot of boosted units. So most of the main stuff you'll see on ladder at the moment, it has a good matchup against. The other things I've added in, some people are running this, some aren't. It's probably the least controversial pick is Milena, mainly because I kind of really like the value you can get from having 1 row movement a turn. Just being able to sort of realign your stuff on the board feels really good for like the combos you're looking to do with things like Gezrus and Gaetan, and obviously the synergy with Dolblath a Sentry, being able to put Cat Witches on certain rows if you need to get damage on a certain row, the sort of synergy with Triumph Ball where you can move it back onto the range row if you don't need the healing. I just felt like it fit really well, and especially at 6 provisions, the sort of utility it's providing is really strong. And the last one that probably is questionable is the Dunker, and there's not too much of a reason for the Dunker beyond I kind of had everything I wanted in the list, and I looked at 7 provisions and I was just stumped on what to run. There was really nothing that caught my eye. I considered like maybe a Milver. Milver would definitely be a possibility, but yeah, I really just threw Dunker in because it's 7 provisions and it's pretty strong, and it hasn't done all that bad, to be fair. Mainly because a lot of your units are quite low power when they come down, but are going to scale up to be quite tall. So they're very vulnerable, like 10-1 or 10-2 of you playing them. So a couple of extra points on them can make the difference. Say Gezrus comes down to 5, you just get 1 hit off Dunker and it comes down to 6. Sometimes the difference between a rebuke taken out or not. So won't make the difference all the time, but it's free carryover points in round 1. Can't complain. Something you might notice is I'm not running Quen. I know a lot of decks are for like consistency on things like Gaetan and Gezrus, but I mean my personal sort of feelings about it is it's great for consistency, and obviously the shield's nice, but it's very expensive for what it's doing, and I would rather sort of take those bad games one in 100 where you miss Gaetan and Gezrus and Erden and Brehen and just accept it as a loss rather than run Quen for the consistency. Like we're already running a Neuromancy, We've got thinning with Novigradian Justice. You know, I'd rather just not run it and save the 10 provisions for something a little better. So that's the list. I won't ramble on too much, as I know you probably have played against this a few times. Last thing I'll say is I would really appreciate if you enjoy my content to subscribe to my channel, as really helps me out. And if you like the video, to please like it, because YouTube's algorithm, it's a strange beast, and it really seems to like liked videos. So yeah, that would really help me out as well. So I hope you enjoy the games, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, who's it gonna be? Precision Strike. Right, I was literally saying in the intro, it'll be sort of one of these two lists will be fighting for the top spot for the best for scoia'tael, so we can kind of see which one feels better in the matchup against each other. I think for this hand though, we Catwitch and Mentor isn't really looking all that good. I think we drop that. I like the Rebuke for the for the Dunker. The Miner's not representing a huge amount. I mean, we could play it to boost up Sentry. Yeah, the hand will do. Hand will do. So I think I'll play a Miner, and then we can play the Sentry, play a bit safer, just play around a Rebuke. If it takes like a Becker's or something like that, then that's is what it is. I don't mind that too much. Making a bomb, okay. So we'll just use the Crystal Skull. Protects it from bleeding at least. I wanted to hold on to it a bit, just so I could kind of see when I wanted to use it. Like I wanted to be able to use the Miner to boost this, and then play the Matron, and then boost that with the tactic. But it's fine. I think unfortunately my best buds, the Catwitches, aren't going to do a whole lot in this matchup, but we'll see. I think in general, not going to have tons of targets on the board. It's relatively unitless, this list, so. I'd also really like Lasser, because an Airden onto God would be kind of nice. So yeah, we'll have to see. Taking a while, but that's fine. Think it through, my dude. Okay, so there is the Dunker. Yeah, this is why I wanted to keep the Rebuke. It does slow down what I'm trying to do, but this is the cleanest Rebuke you're gonna get. Rebuke onto Dunker is really nice. I've been considering if we even want to run Rebukes. I feel like it kind of needs some of that small removal, but because we only have like Treant Boar as a Treant, feels like we're very rarely getting like full value, and it's basically playing as an Alsa's Thunder, so may have to think about that. If there's anything else we can run that either synergizes with Nature's Rebuke or is doing the same kind of job of like small removal, because the deck has tons of like pings and little chip damage, and we got the Karathi for like that one big piece of removal, but yeah, as I said, we'll just have to see. Well, this is interesting. So we can put this to 5, which is fair. I think if this, I don't think I'll feel too bad if this eats a Rebuke. It's not perfect, but it'll do. It'll do. This is kind of what I meant about the Catwitches not looking all that good, because at the moment they've had no target all game. Okay, so I'll play the Milena with the Treant Born next turn in mind, or maybe the Catwitcher. We'll see. Interesting. Okay. A lot to commit to that. I'm gonna keep going though in this round. I really do want that last thinking about it, actually, Brehon's really not doing too much. I maybe should be mulliganing in this matchup. Not doing a whole lot. Guess he's fine. He's always going to get value against Justice. He's always going to be able to take out a unit on Justice, so it's not all bad, but yeah, it's going to struggle for a bit of value, I think. I'm pretty sure if we play Cat Witcher to the right of the matron will move over, and then... Wow. The matron will move over, and then the Cat Witcher will move, so... Yeah, that's a big commitment. So, Cat Witcher... So we could play Stigger Castle, but I don't think I particularly want to be There's a 2, puts it down to 10. So we'll use a movement just because if they do pass on us here, he'll then move on to the range row and hit the skirmisher, so be all good. Brehon's active as well, which is kind of nice. Just definitely don't want to be losing on even. They have used the whole leader, which is a big commitment. So if they're running something like Shiru, that's really not a threat. I just realised this hit like 2 buffs. Came down as a 4. Oh no, it ate the Dunker buff in the circle. Alright, so we'd have to worry about carryover. Because that only got 1 buff down, circles come down, so this is what got buffed. Kinda nice. Perfect. Because we were getting to the point of like cards I really don't want to play, but I will play if need be. So that's worked out pretty ideal. In terms of stuff we spent, obviously we spent like a Sentry, a Milena, and Tryon Ball, but when you compare that to a full leader commitment from them, they're not in an amazing spot for sure. I think here though we are going to just straight pass. Not so much that like our hand doesn't have any power, because it really does, like with things like Novigradian Justice and Gesrus and Castle and all that fun stuff. But I'd just rather take that longer round, guarantee that last say. Hopefully we get a Nero or Erden to reset. I would imagine probably like a Skag, something like that, or a God. Cool. I don't expect, you know, things like Gesrus to be like sticking too long. I will be kind of using them as a... God, we're actually missing Erden. Okay. Whew. I'm a bit scared there. We do miss Gaitan, which is amazing. It's definitely an argument for Novigradian Justice early, but yeah, our cards like Gesrus really aren't going to be sticking, so they'll be used more as like a bit of a bomb, like dropping them, getting that 110 value, it gets removed, but you know, it's buffed to full row. Basically a really bad burn talisman, but it's the best you can get in this matchup, so what can you do? I did forget to mention in the like explanation, this is fine because we can just craft through that. I'm not dealing with that. Not doing that. I didn't forget to explain, like, it's a really basic thing with this deck is typically you want to stack your ranged row and stack your opponent's melee row. So just something to keep in mind. Mainly because Gesrus is going to buff all yours and damage all the front row, and you can set up like your sentries and things like that on the range row, so they're going to buff your stuff because typically your unit's going to be moving more than theirs are. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. I think we'll probably play, if there's nothing to answer, which there isn't, sentry melee row, move it back with a leader.
For young is the
Obviously not our best card for sure. Just so now it's only like really a Becca's that takes that out, which is a lot better than the alternative. Then we'll probably look to get a matron down. Curse of Corruption. I still don't know how Curse of Corruption works on like even cards. Okay, so Becca's does come out, that's fine. Yeah, I still don't know how Curse of Corruption works when it comes to cards like that. We'll get Cat Witcher down. Like, so what I mean is, I'm getting sidetracked. What I mean is, like, if two cards are the same power, does it take out a random one, or I still don't know, because I've done it like 2 times in testing and it's always taken out mine, but then that's only 2 times. I could have gotten lucky. I don't know. I don't know if this list uses a Curse of Corruption. I'm assuming this is probably Special's list that uses Sabertooth Tiger, but could be wrong. Taking his time. Yeah, Protector's annoying, but that's what it is. They're spreading the rows, which is interesting. Yeah, so we'll Justice. Just try and get bodies on the board, really, for things like Matron. I think really it's just going to come down to getting as many points as we can while they're removing our stuff, and then resetting the gourd. Hopefully they haven't got any points elsewhere, because most of the time they don't. I don't really want to use this leader charge either. I just want to hold on to that at the moment. So they're playing their Justice, which is fine. It's really what we're looking for, is like their boosted units on the same row. Okay, we can finally play the Matron. I'm not really looking to play the Rebuke yet, mainly because we kind of want the rows to stack up a little bit for Brehan. Definitely not going to be an easy matchup, but I think this is the first time I've played the matchup. I think I've only played about 5 or 6 games with this deck anyway, so I'm still new to this one. But I feel like we should be okay. But that's obviously famous last words, so try not to jinx it. Okay. It's fine. We can Rebuke away the Matter if we wanted to. Or we can play Gezerus. So they've played a Rebuke, they've played an Alzers, they've played 2 Alzers, and what did they played a Rebuke off that, right? So they have one more Rebuke left, I believe. Yeah, they have one more Rebuke left. I mean, there's really no harm in doing this, purely because our like Brehan's active. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we're going to reset this, but even if you consider it like without the reset on it, it's a 6 power unit. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. God. So that last card's a Karathi. So we'll just reset that. And the reason I put it melee is, the plan is I'm going to put Gezerus ranged, put in melee, sorry, Stick a Castle to move them all, and then lead a Gezerus back onto the front. And, oh no, I was just going to say they could actually crafty that, right. So I'm putting Gezerus melee, moving them all, range, move, yeah.
We didn't take the mutation.
Change. And then we want to move Gezra's melee. Moves range. Okay. Clean game. I think that kind of went to script. I'm pretty happy with that one. I think Melena will be really good in this matchup there. So, Enchantress not doing a whole lot. Honestly, I could chuck Birth. Okay. So, we do have the option if we wanted to go, like, double Matron this round. It would definitely secure it, like, without a doubt. It's just whether I want to commit that much. I don't think we'll be doing it straight away. Oh, I realised I should have milled the, mulligan the Mentor. Because this is really good when the adrenaline comes down. Because it comes down relatively tall, you know, so you get this up to like a 5 or something. And when you got things like Cat Witch flying about. Okay, this is like a off the books meme deck. Maybe? Maybe not. So we'll play Cat Witch, yeah. That's fine. And we still have the option to go for like Matrons and things like that if we want to. And may go like Matron next round and then a Sentry. We'll just see. Just want to get this going straight away. I'm probably happy to play like Triumph Boar as well. Maybe even Gaitan. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure why they've split the rows because this is just giving Cat Witch a value, but works for me. Works for me. And we can play the Sentry range row, play the other Matron, and then they're really going to struggle to come back from that, to be honest. Because there's not a whole lot they can really do. Could even play the castle if we really wanted to. Probably won't play the castle though. I mean, this deck is an interesting little meme. But I think don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're probably favoured. Mainly because like this is a bit of a meme list. It's not that amazing. I've tried to get it working before so many times, but it relies on a lot of like very specific combo pieces, and so you can really struggle to win like round 1 without doing something like this, committing leader charges and playing things like Tax Collector and oh wow, they're playing the Philippa. Okay, I'm completely fine with that. That's a big commitment. Yeah, so we can play the Matron. Get these cycling. Getting 4 points to 10 there. And then we could play like Triumph Boar if we wanted. It'd be 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so Triumph Boar would put us ahead. Because they're getting 1 a turn. This is going to hit for 1, so they're getting 2. Okay, so we'll... Yeah, I think we'll play the Triumph Boar. It doesn't matter a whole lot, we're really just doing it for the points. Don't mind if we use a leader charge to get Triumph Boar back on the road to then move it again. Maybe should have used it last turn actually, just remove the Cat Witcher value. Because it's now going to start dealing 2. Yeah, they really want this round. Really want this round. Okay, so I'll play the castle. Put on the Cat Witcher. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35. I think we don't use the leader charge there. Because next turn, if they pass and we pass, we go ahead. We didn't need to use the leader. Cool. Oh, do we go ahead? That is a good point. So let me think. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We needed the leader charge. We did need the leader charge. Let me just double check I'm doing the maths right. So this will move melee, deal 2 damage. So we're getting 3 from that. This will move across. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. So yeah, we need to. Okay. Okay. It's a shame because it's a lot of points. A lot of points to win by, but maybe should have. We're probably going to drive past anyway, so it didn't really matter about using this or not. Yeah, so we're just searching for the big stuff now. Get rid of the Enchantress. Probably even drop the Rebuke. Actually, I might hold on to the Rebuke. Just because... Oh, Adam. No, I was thinking about, MK. But I actually don't think I care all that much. Because, like, all the points are kind of going to become irrelevant because of Erden. So yeah, maybe we don't care too much about removing the stuff. We're more focused on getting our points on the board, and then we can just wipe everything they do, because typically they're looking to boost their own units rather than slow down ours. I think what we'll probably look to do is try and stack the melee row a little bit, and then Gaitan to move everything to the range row before a good old Gezerus. Yeah, I'm still not 100%. This could be like a self-poisoning list. Which is obviously something to watch out for, because this could be, you know, one of those lists that run like double Salamander with Sienna, but I think we'll manage. Okay, so we're not going to have the Milena or the Sentry, which is kind of sad, but we do have access to the Gezerus, so that's okay. I did end up keeping the Rebuke because the Sienna came to mind then. I thought, hang on a minute, if they want to do something like that, I would really like to be able to stop that. That's what Passiflora is made for. Literally because I don't want them to get the points, rather not get the coins, sorry, rather than wanting to stop the Seductress. Don't know, maybe that was a mistake. Might have been a mistake, actually.
This world, only 2 things are certain.
I think this is fine anyway. Okay, so we'll play the Dunker. Mainly because it's got Veil. It's kind of nice. So I'll probably look to play... I don't know, maybe Cat Witcher.
Soon you shall transform and receive the gift of
This really isn't a problem. Or less of a problem than it looks, at least. Because if they're looking to stack everything behind these Scarabs, that kind of works out great for me. So we play Cat Witcher melee, and move to range, deal the damage. We nerf Gradient Justice. And then yeah, that works. Sorry, just doing some quick maths. We'll also be holding on to Brehan as long as Dunker's here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just going to come down to the Erden being ridiculous, to be honest. I think it's interesting that they seem to be running a lot of the cards that benefit from Horde, but they're not running it in Hidden Cache. I'm not sure I agree with that approach too much. But it's not for me to say. Not for me to say. So Gaitan on the melee, it will move Dunker, but she'll still keep boosting, and if I really need that 3 damage, I've got 3 charges left, I can just move a melee. I think what I've kind of learned is like Gaitan, you really don't want to be like too greedy with him, because it can sometimes mean like suboptimal stuff. So we'll just be careful with this one, but would have really liked a sentry as well. A sentry here would have been so good. Maybe we'll just play Brehan here. I think we do. This is like the best Brehan we're ever gonna get.
You fight me, or you watch her die.
Oh, that's a good snipe. It's a really good snipe, actually. I probably will actually use the Dunker charge to take out the Scarab, because after we play Gaitan next turn, we won't have anything left for it to buff. So, okay, so there's the MK. I mean, we do have the option to just remove that if we want to. Actually, I'm going to get super greedy. Just kill that, really. Try and limit anything they could have. And then we'll finally Gaitan next turn. And then we can Gezras, and then we can Erden, and it'll be kind of ridiculous. I do feel like this deck is very strong at the moment. I'm pretty happy with what they've done with Guerilla Tactics, in all honesty. Because the deck definitely wasn't up to scratch. I tried to do like the whole Matron Sentries combo thing before, but it just wasn't... Like, obviously it's strong, but it's still, you know, you get double Sentries, double Matrons down, and it's still only 6 points a turn from 4 cards, which isn't like particularly that good. Like, it's okay as like a little side bit of points, but not something you build a deck around by any means. I mean, that's kind of good.
Fucking pitchfork. Seriously.
I'm actually going to move the Cat Witcher just to get the extra points more than anything. I'll probably leader Gaitan and Gezras.
Sometimes beggars can be.
Oh, Gaitan, and we'll get Gezras.
We didn't take the mutation process. We improved it.
Then we'll use the last charge to move Gezras back. Or we won't. Or we won't. Right, so we'll use 1 to... Just take that off the right. Wait, I didn't even need to do this, did I?
Not your lucky day.
Works. Definitely works. Alright, easy game.